Well, welcome and good morning and good afternoon to those who are joining us today. Welcome to the webinar to learn about the Masters in Community Development program at the Carsey School at the University of New Hampshire and our partnership with NDC. And I'm happy to be joined today by NDC Senior Director Tom Jackson, and Tom will be talking in just a few minutes, so I'll have an opportunity to introduce him again at that time. My name is Michael Swack, and I'm Director of the Masters in Community Development program at the Carsey School at the University of New Hampshire, and I also direct our Center for Impact Finance, which works with CDFIs and government agencies and banks across the country on policy and applied work, typically with CDFIs. I'm also joined today by my colleague, Robin Husledge, and she will be monitoring the Q&A and chat. So we encourage, if you have questions, to just type them into the Q&A or the chat box, and I'll stop during the presentation a couple times and ask Robin if there are questions, or Robin, feel free to interrupt me. So what I hope to do is very briefly talk about the structure of our master's degree program. It's a program for adult practitioners working in community development. Talk a little bit about our curriculum and the project requirement, and then talk about the admissions and financial aid aspects of the program. The Carsey School at the University of New Hampshire, the Carsey School of Public Policy, has 3 degree programs in addition to the Masters in Community Development. You see there that there's an MPA program and an MPP program as well. The Masters in Community Development used to have a short-term residency, but over the last couple of years have converted to an all-online program. And that program has a curriculum that's comprised of a capstone project, a variety of required interdisciplinary courses in things like organizational management, accounting and finance, public policy, and we also have a number of elective courses ranging from housing to health policy and to community economic development. It's a very applied program, very practical, skills-oriented program, again, geared towards practitioners, people who've been working in the field, and a very diverse group of people who participate in our cohort model. By cohort model, what it means is you generally start the program and go through a series of required classes as part of a cohort. Generally, these cohorts are small, about 15 to 20 people per cohort, and you get to know these folks pretty well, and you work together with them in small groups online, and you work together with them in courses. The courses themselves are primarily asynchronous, but in fact, what we do is have courses that meet via Zoom, typically 1 day a week, one evening, well, depending on where you are. We've had students in the Philippines and Alaska, as well as the mountain states, central states, just about all over. So whatever time it is, here it may be a different time there. But generally the courses will have are run in 8-week sessions, each course, and the 8-week sessions, you'll have 4 meetings that will be face-to-face meetings via Zoom for about 90 minutes each time. The rest is asynchronous, meaning you have project work that you'll do for the courses, small group project work, posting online, discussions that you'll arrange among your small groups that are organized by course. We do have a core set of courses you see listed there that everybody takes, and then a set of experiential learning courses, our project courses, more about that in a minute, and then a series of elective courses as well, pretty wide ranging. That's just a sampling that you see on the screen right now. Experiential learning is a 4-course sequence in projects: an introduction to projects, design, implementation, and evaluation. And the project courses are ones where you implement something typically in your home organization, although there are many choices. Many people choose to develop a project within their organization. Others choose to do something outside their organization to get different type of experience. There's a lot of flexibility in what you choose. One of the questions we frequently get is, do I need to have a project before I enter the program? And the answer is no. In fact, most people don't. And much of the first term is spent in the introductory course in which you develop your project idea. Many people come with an idea of what they might do. They end up changing their mind after a while. But the idea is to actually go through the process of designing, implementing, and developing an evaluation. Just to give you a sense, people are involved in projects around housing, small business development. Sometimes it's organizing a community to be ready for a project. Sometimes it's involved in evaluating an existing project. So there's a lot of flexibility, but essentially it's a year-long sequence where you go through the different process and have a number of assignments related to an on-the-ground project that you're implementing in your own community. And this is really one of the strengths of the program. When we've talked to alumni and interviewed them after they've been out of the program from 1 year to 10 years, we often ask about the experience, and people frequently mention that the project sequence is the most powerful in terms of skills they actually use and implement in their professional careers afterwards. So this is a very well-designed sequence, an important core element of the project itself, of the program itself.
My name is Nisha.
Let me stop for a minute, Robin, and see if we have any questions.
Michael, thank you. Let me check here. I answered some already that were more about receiving a link to this recorded session after the fact.
Okay.
One question is, can you provide some more examples of types of capstone projects students do?
Yeah, they're like I said, it's pretty wide ranging. And Robin, you may have some immediate thoughts in terms of most recent projects as well. Feel free to jump in.
Sure. What I'll do is I'll put a link to we have a capstone project page, and it gives you a map and where the locations and the titles and a brief summary of the project. And I think that will probably give people the best sense of the scope and range of the types of capstone projects that our students do.
Right. It's quite wide ranging. It ranges from people who've developed micro lending programs, people who've looked at community development and recreation and how that affects a community. A lot of them around housing development, manufactured housing. So really pretty wide ranging and a lot of flexibility in determining what the project is. What's less important is the actual project as much as understanding how to develop, design, and evaluate a project. So really, any project would fit into the set of courses that we have. And again, there's a lot of flexibility in determining what you want to do.
One last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just briefly, is during the online courses, are there live sessions or is it all self-paced?
Oh no, there are live sessions. What I probably didn't make clear earlier is that in each course of 8 weeks, you'll have at least 4 live sessions, typically 4 live sessions of 90 minutes each during that time. And those will be scheduled with the course. So you'll know that what the times are at the beginning of the class, but it gives a chance you to interact with your classmates, typically on analyzing cases, looking at particular issues. And then outside of that, there are reading assignments and writing assignments that you would do on your own time. So in any given term, if you're taking 2 courses, there will likely be 1 session per week of 90 minutes that you would join online. We also understand that from time to time, you may not be able to do that. All of those sessions are recorded and then put online in the course. Each course has its own web page on Canvas is the platform that we use. And so you're able to access all of the readings, the recordings, the videos that we post on the chat room and on the Canvas page that we have for each course. So you'll have about 90 minutes per week that you'll be interacting with people in your cohort. The rest is asynchronous. individual and or group assignments. The group you would arrange on your own times that work for you.
Another question came in, Michael. It seems appropriate. Do you collaborate with private public sector for course-related project completion?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that means, and I don't know, Nick, if we can allow someone to speak. Can you read that one more time, Robin, please?
Sure. The question is, do you collaborate with private/public sector for course-related project completion? So maybe do students work with their organizations, or do they work with other organizations, or independently maybe?
So again, that it could be any of the above. I would say that most people, but not all, choose to implement a project at their place of employment. And they'll do this in consultation with other people there. A lot of times people like that because essentially you're getting assistance to develop and design and evaluate a project that both doubles as part of your work for the program, for your degree program, as well as for your organization. But we also have people who, because if they want to learn particular skills or do a project outside their organization, who will work with other private or public organizations to implement a project there. Again, there's a lot of flexibility. Our interest is having you go through this focused 4-course program project sequence to learn the skills around project design, management, and evaluation. So there's a lot of flexibility as to where you do your placement and what you choose as a project. And there are some people who choose to do them with organizations that are not the ones that they're currently affiliated with. Or some are unaffiliated with any particular organization right now. They may work more freelance and will pick an organization through which they want to do their project.
Thank you, Michael. I think that's all the questions right now.
Okay, great. The program is a 36 credit program. As we said, it's all online. You don't have to come to New Hampshire, although we're discussing the possibility of having a summer introductory session for all our programs where you can come for a week and meet people and take workshops. We're currently working on that right now and may roll that out as soon as this summer. Of the 36 credits, 9 are the core courses, which we mentioned earlier, plus 5 core courses plus the 4 project courses, and then you choose from a series of electives. The capstone project is one of the 4 experiential courses. The course can be spread out over, it can be completed in as little as 1 year, depending on whether you would take 2 or more classes at a time. People typically don't take more than 2 courses. Frequently, they take 1 course at a time and finish over a period of 2 years. Really, the idea is to have something that fits your schedule so that you're taking courses so that you're not overloading everything else because they're pretty rigorous courses. They'll take time. So we encourage people to take what they can when they can. For many people, that's simply 1 course at a time every 8 weeks. And so people complete the program in as little as 14 months, but many 18 months, and for many 2 years. So you determine how quickly you get through the program based on what your schedule allows. You can see the cohorts here. This is what it looks like in fall of 2021. What you see is a sequence of courses that you would take so that if you were to go through the course and start in fall of 2021 and finish at the end of fall 2022, that would be about 14 months. That would be like August of 2021 through December of 2022. And you can see here the courses that you would take and how they're structured in terms of required courses and elective courses. And again, these are e-terms of 8 weeks each. As I said, you can take typically 1 or 2 courses at any given time. The application requirements, it's all done online. If you're applying for our fall term, which I'd encourage if you're thinking about it, because most people start the cohort program and the courses are structured sequentially and begin the fall. What we call fall is typically the end of August that we start. The application requires the transcript from your bachelor's degree, 3 letters of reference, a resume, and there's an application form that you fill out. We don't require the GRE. The TOEFL is required for international students only if their bachelor's degree was not in English, in which case we do require the TOEFL exam. Just several recent graduates and some of the work that they do and where they're located. Andronika, as you see there, runs a housing organization in New Orleans. You can see that people work on evaluation. Community Impact Associates is an evaluation firm, but people work in careers in affordable housing, community development finance, the whole range of activities that you see there. And again, we have a very diverse student body, one of the really powerful elements of the program, and really encourages a dynamic learning environment in the program itself. Cost of the program you see on the slide here, that's the cost for the entire program. And it's spread out over whatever time you take to go through the program. So it's essentially priced by credit. So whether you take it in 2 years or 1 year, the price is essentially the same. We do offer financial aid, which includes some grant money as well. We encourage you to apply for the financial aid. Typical grant financial aid runs between $5,000 and $10,000. We also have a financial aid office that provides access to information about other financial aid sources, as well as access to information about student loans. And the NDC Education Award, part of our partnership with NDC is that that you automatically qualify for an education award. One of the real benefits, if you have an NDC Professional Certificate or want to earn an NDC Professional Certificate, is that those credits from the Professional Certificate apply for graduate level 2 courses, 6 credits towards our master's degree, which in essence is a scholarship because those are credits that you don't have to pay additional for. You get those credits and as part of the certification program that you take. So you register for those. We have course names for those, and you submit the evidence that you completed the certificate program and the testing that you took to get that certificate. So that's another cost saving available for those who have NDC professional certificates. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over and introduce our partner, Tom Jackson. Tom, it's great to have you with us, and welcome.
Thanks, Michael. And hello to everyone who is able to join us today. I'm just going to take you through some quick slides here because I want you to have an opportunity to ask questions. And I think already you've seen the main value of a partnership with the Carsey School and NDC, and that is that by working together, we're really able to get you through our training and also get you credits in their program. So for those of you who aren't familiar with NDC, and I know a goodly number that are attending are, just a quick overview that we're a little over 50 years old now. We work around the country pursuing our mission of promoting homes, jobs, and community. And the core of our work is increasing the flow of capital for investment in low-income communities. And that increase in investment takes the form of affordable housing investments, the creation of jobs through both training and small business lending, and the advancement of livable communities through investment in social infrastructure. For over 5 decades, we've helped improve the lives of millions of people through new economic opportunity and community improvement in every one of the 50 states in Puerto Rico. We're actually working in the Virgin Islands, and occasionally we have students from Guam and Samoa as well. But again, that work takes the form of equity investments and technical assistance for affordable housing units, close to 13,000 to date, 2.6 billion in social infrastructure through our public-private partnership that keeps the nonprofit in P3 developments with universities, community facilities, on down the line. We've trained more than 81,000 practitioners in the art and science of economic, housing, and community development finance. Loaned more than 269 million to over 710 small businesses, creating and retaining over 15,489 jobs. We've been very active in both directly participating and in training groups across the nation in the use of new market tax credits to reach their development goals. So there again, for community facilities, mixed use real estate projects, growing businesses, the Macaw Indian commercial fishing dock pictured here below is one of our finest new markets projects. We're very proud of that. And we also do technical assistance around the country for client communities to generate hundreds of millions of dollars of additional private and public investment for their community and economic development projects and goals. Again, we accomplish an awful lot of that through our work in training professionals around the country. And our professionals come from every level of the economic, housing, and community development profession, federal government down to the smallest communities, nonprofits that are national in scope, as well as working in single neighborhoods, community banking, foundations, anyone that wants to really learn the skills of development finance that are critical to closing financing gaps in projects, come to us sooner or later. And again, what we found through our 50+ years of experience is that it's those financing gaps that stop more projects than anything else. We also do training and development processes. Today, we've got a developer of color training going in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have a small public housing administration training going in upstate New York. We have the final certification course in our rental housing development finance session for state housing finance agency staff, nonprofit staff, others, all of that going on as live remote. And then another couple hundred students, as I'll show you in just a second, working through self-guided, self-paced IMI education. So again, I'll try to skip past some of the background. This will be available to you. But again, we mentioned that we've trained over 80,000 folks. I want to stress that, you know, one of the main pieces of feedback we get for folks taking our courses is that there is rigorous and intense, or more so than anything that they took either in undergraduate or graduate work. So we're really looking to build skills, not just give you an overview of what's involved in community development finance. All of our course instructors are members of NDC's teams of development finance specialists to impart real world knowledge that they're gaining in the field every day, working with small businesses, new markets projects, affordable housing finance, program design for COVID recovery, you name it. We have 3 certifications that we hope that are of interest to you, or I know some of you, such as Miguel from Connecticut, have already participated in. Our Housing Development Finance Professional Certification, our Rental Housing Development Finance Professional Certification, and our Economic Development Finance Professional Certification. Just to break them down real quickly, the HDFP certification is a 4-course series that's comprised of the 3-course Rental Housing Development Finance Professional Series plus NDC's Home Ownership Finance class. So again, if you're getting your Rental Housing Development Finance certification, then you have the opportunity to add the HDFP certification by taking home ownership financing. The courses involved, again, in those series, each either a week or close to a week, and again, depends on the format that you take them in. 420 is available as a live remote over 8, little more than half-day sessions. 423 is 4 half-day sessions. 435, again, is 8 half-day sessions. We also have 420 as a self-guided, self-paced, interactive multimedia instruction format, where you can work 24/7 on getting the course done. Home ownership finance is currently a 5-day, little more than a half-day session as a live remote with instructor and scheduled times. The Economic Development Finance Program is a 4-course, all are 5-day equivalents for in class. And when we say 5 days, we mean 40 to 43, 44 hours of in-class work over the course of that week. It's for others who take more time with their case studies at the end of the day, they're a little longer. So it takes you really through our business credit analysis curriculum in ED 101 and ED 201, also providing additional information on setting up and supporting economic development finance systems in your community in ED 101. ED 202 takes us into real estate finance, and ED 300 teaches the art of deal structuring for both business credit analysis and real estate. So again, depending on what kind of impact you want to have on a world, these courses are going to give you the basics of how your project looks from lenders, from investors, regulatory standpoint in terms of compliance with various federal and state financing programs. And I found in my own career, coming out as a political science undergraduate doing public administration, my coursework here in Cincinnati, Ohio, that until I took this training, I sure got the politics, but I didn't always understand all of the due diligence that my partners in development were looking for to move the projects that I was working on forward. So I think in terms of underwriting your projects, understanding the concerns of all the various partners in development, the development process itself, I can't tell you how much it helped me in my career over 20 years as a development officer with a large urban city, primarily working in very low income neighborhoods, trying to develop new programs and projects that addressed the poverty in those neighborhoods that I was working in. And since then, close to 15 years work in NDC, this training is something I go to every day and still use in my career. So again, I mentioned the formats for the training, live remote instruction, interactive multimedia instruction, and we're all looking forward to the day when we can be back in the classroom face-to-face as well. But I think for where folks are at around the country right now, we are very proud that we were able to keep our training going throughout the pandemic by pivoting very quickly to live remote instruction. And we already had some of our very large investments in moving our curricula to interactive multimedia instruction underway. And 3 of those courses now are available on that self-paced 24/7 access with weekly instructor hours, with new materials every day that we're developing to enhance the learning experience for students using the IMI format. And I think that's about all I wanted to say on NDC training. Again, open to questions, and plenty of contact information here in the slides on how to reach us or how to reach our schedule for upcoming classes.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. I would like to reinforce a comment you made, which is these are rigorous courses, and this is why we accept them as full graduate credit. When we first formed the partnership, we looked at the courses and the requirements and felt that it was equivalent of a graduate course in terms of rigor. The other thing that neither of us mentioned was that one could actually do this concurrently. That is, a student could be in the master's program and instead of taking 2 elective courses with us, actually go through the training program, and not have to pay twice. Essentially, pay once and take the courses and get the certification and get graduate credit. So, and some could choose to do that, to say, well, we want to have a more of a focus on real estate finance. So we're going to take the NDC courses for graduate credit and apply that towards our elective requirements towards our degree credit. So that's another option people should be aware of.
It's a great opportunity.
Thanks for highlighting that, Michael. There is a question for Tom. What is the recertification process for NDC certifications?
What is the recertification process? That's up on our website, and we're glad to finally have it in a kind of a self-tracking status using a SurveyMonkey Apply, where you can see how well you're doing to get to your 3 days. We're looking for 3 days equivalent of professional development every 3 years. So it's not that rigorous. It's really more that we want to know that you're still involved in the industry, that you're still pursuing self-improvement through various activities, but NDC training, all sorts of other trainings. We every month approve state associations that their programs are eligible for recertification credits. Other folks, LISC, enterprise classes with them are also eligible, NeighborWorks, for recertification credits. So we find that it's an easy recertification to hit. Our main goal is that we know that you're continuing to build your skills and to stay active in community, economic, and housing development.
Excellent. And I see Brittany has put some links in there for that information that gives more detail around that. I'm not seeing any more questions in chat or in the Q&A. So
Great. Well, thank you everybody then for joining us today. Oh wait, I see one other last question. What is that?
Okay. I would be interested in understanding UNH instruction related to collaboration with private public sector that can promote practical, realistic effort. Would be interested in UNH infrastructure, affiliations, and project finance, development, and strategic plan for a realistic reward of earning this degree course and not just theoretical applications for pick and choose.
Yeah, again, I would emphasize a point that Tom made about his courses. Almost all of our instructors are practitioners and have done that work and work with organizations that are community development finance organizations, CDFIs, nonprofits, government agencies. This is very much an applied program taught by people who have done the work. So we've drawn similar. In fact, I was going to say, Tom, that a couple of our instructors actually have gone through the NDC program to get certifications themselves, in addition to their own practical experience in the field. So the answer to that is it really is very much an applied program taught by people who have done the work and who are involved in the supervision. Can the course requirement calendar that was shown be found on the University of New Hampshire website?
I think that was your matrix, probably, Michael, that she's referring to.
I'm happy to send Ivy Grant that it's like a sample degree plan. So I'm happy to send that to you, Ivy. No problem.
And just to follow up on something, it seems like Michael might have frozen there, but I'm in the process of interviewing for positions right now, and knowing that somebody's participated in a master's program where they're getting the chance to implement projects of their own design is something that certainly lights up my eyes. And I think that we have very broad experience understanding that municipal and nonprofit employers who see that folks have taken the time and energy, made the investment of energy to get through an NDC certification, that again is another something that we love to see on a resume and that we know they love to see. Where I worked in community development for a municipality, large municipality, you couldn't reach senior level development officer status without getting your NDC certification. So it's that emphasis on real world experience and what you're going to run into with projects to get them implemented that I think is very important to a lot of employers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sorry I got cut off earlier. I don't know, Robin, if you were able to answer the question.
She was.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
great. Sorry about that.
Not at all. I think that's all the questions I see on the board. So
great. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today. Tom, thank you for joining us and being a partner. We really appreciate it. And if anyone has questions about the master's program, please feel free to contact myself or to contact Robin. We'd be happy to answer those questions. Thanks very much, everybody.
Have a great day.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.